What is up everyone, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another episode of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. My name is MW3 and in today's video we'll be having a look at the conversion kit on the FJX Horus, as this has been something that you guys have suggested to look at and of course to give it a go. Now, it is a weapon that it has been introduced very recently in the game, and of course with the latest conversion kit it does change a bit the dynamic of the weapon. From what I have seen, it's got a bit of a kind of faster time to kill, and of course it just made the weapon look really long. So I just jumped straight into a tier 3 so we can have a look and see how it does while doing the Easter egg here. And with that in mind, I mean, it's definitely going to be a weapon that it's worth checking until the end of the video how it will perform. I think the point of this video is just to kind of see if it's worth going through, the 5 challenge steps that you have to do in order to unlock the conversion kit. As I'm not saying that they are necessarily difficult, but of course time consuming, and if we can get to the end of it without you guys having to try this, I'll be very happy. So as we can actually see straight away, the TTK it's actually pretty good. I would probably say it's similar to an extent to RAM 9, even though it's not necessarily a weapon that I would compare to RAM 9 entirely. It does feel fairly similar. But as you guys can see, it does actually handle the area pretty well. And I think having to kind of look at first at the weapon, or at least giving it an initial thought, is definitely a really good mobile solution when going into the tier 3 area. It is also kind of ideal when you're playing solo, because having to have the extra mobility, it helps you get rid of the uncomfortable situations, and of course when you pair it with the Deadshot Daggery, as we did in this video, the aim lock system, it's actually pretty good. But as you guys can see, it's not necessarily a quick kill, but it does the trick. And I think given that we just needed to make sure we're not going down in this particular mission, we survived successfully. So let's have a look and see if we can wait for a bounty contract to appear. Okay, so we found our first bounty. It's a disciple, my absolute favorite. So let's see how he actually does against that. I think this is kind of the ultimate test. If he takes the disciple down quite quickly, it is a good weapon to consider. If not, we might have to give it further thought in terms of what we could do with it. Okay, so that's an infested stronghold, so quite a few zombies coming up from there. But I mean, as you guys can see, it's not necessarily dealing a lot of damage, which is not necessarily a problem. It's still got like a really good fire rate, but it does kind of creates a bit of an issue when there's too many zombies, right? And if you don't have a really good distance, you wouldn't necessarily take you out of those sticky situations. Okay, Mangler there. Okay, so I guess overall it's not too bad. I've went on a mobility class, which to be fair, it doesn't necessarily changes too much the dynamic of the weapon. One of the things that I consider probably mandatory to add to the weapon is the muzzle, the jack aftermarket part. That definitely improves the fire rate and the damage in most of the weapons that I've used it on. So yeah, without without questions, there's definitely something that it's worth adding. Okay, so it's nearly there. Oh, gosh, disappeared. Okay. It's not too bad. I mean, we were lucky that we didn't have, say, loads of hordes of zombies coming our way, but it has done the job. So I guess we could carry on. Let me find another bounty and I will come back once we've done so. I think in the meantime I really want to get the Scorcher Pack-a-Punch, so hopefully we can get this done. Oh, that's the sound of the Easter egg. Oh great, someone hasn't done it. Let's get on it.
That was the last of them. Keep your eyes open. Something tells me it's over. Strike whoever you just said and touched off the local.
Well, I mean, the overall of the weapon so far, guys, it's is that it handles, I would say, pretty well the tier 3 area. It does have a really good fire rate. I cannot compare it with the Renetti or the RAM 9, however, but it's still a really good option. I mean, I cannot say I think the FJX Horus is a great weapon altogether, and I have made the video about this in the past, so you guys can actually check it. It's on the screen now. But I'm not sure if the conversion kit it's entirely worth it. I guess we'll have to see a bit later. We also got the Max of Folding with us, so it'll be quite cool to see how well it improves the overall weapon. I mean, it's worth kind of noting that the magazine reserve is 900 bullets, so it would probably be a fairly overpowered situation once you have the Max of Folding. But we'll have to see how this looks a bit later. Okay, so we finished this. Let's carry on and see if we can find the bounty. Okay, so we've got Omega. Let's see how it does against it. I hope this is at that spot here where we can trigger those lasers. We'll also jump into the Elder Dark Aether afterwards, just to see how it does against the zombies there. We'll probably be going for the Season 2 Reloaded one, just because I'm not entirely confident that the weapon will do extremely well, so just to be on the safe side, we'll be doing that instead. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's not too bad. I mean, it definitely has really good fire rate, which is pretty cool. And it actually reminds me of the Robocop pistol, the way it kind of looks like. Without the magazine, of course, but the actual shape of the weapon reminds me of that. Right, well, let's see how we could go to the Elder and see how the weapon does there. Now, I guess I'll be seeing you guys on the other side. Righty. Well, would you guys look at that? Once we put the Max of Folding, we have 1020 bullets. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's definitely a lot of bullets. But given the fire rate and given that it's emptying them quite quickly, I guess it's a good balance. But yeah, I mean, 1020 bullets is is quite a bit. Okay, so let's see how it does against the Mega. We also go a Juggernaut with us, just in case things are getting a bit messier. We also have the Napalm burst ammo mode, which I think it helps. I usually tend to go with the Shatter Blast, but given that we want to see the most damage the weapon does, I got the Napalm Hurl. I mean, having 1,000 bullets definitely helps, guys. Not gonna lie. So that's a plus in my view. But again, this is only when you play it with the max of holding. Otherwise, you have just 120 bullets, which again is not too bad. The Renetti has similar and the same as with the RAM 9. But I just feel that those 120 bullets, because of the quick fire rate, are making the weapon kind of, not useless necessarily, but a bit more kind of challenging to use in the respect of not dealing that much damage. So I'm not sure if this is actually a weapon that was supposed to be used with the max of holding, because it kind of makes sense why would you use it with this. But either way, I mean, it's not too bad, and it does handle well the zombies in the Elder area as well. So I would imagine also for the latest Elder Dark Aether, it should do pretty well, especially that you have all those perks falling on the floor. So yeah. Of course, nothing beats the Juggernaut, so we cannot get too worried about it. But in the meantime, guys, I want to say thank you so much for all the support recently, all the comments, all the suggestions as well. As mentioned before, and I'll mention it again, if you guys do have a suggestion of a weapon that you'd like me to try, more than happy. I'm all eyes and ears, and we'll obviously want to give it a go. As I said, the FJX Horus was definitely a weapon that you guys have suggested, especially with the new conversion kit. So here we are, trying it, giving you guys the insight of how is playing it. Now, of course, if I can help you all not to go to the trouble of unlocking the actual conversion kit, this is probably the video for you. If you don't have the time, or if you just want to see how it does with it or without it, I'll probably put back on the screen the video in which we've played with the FJX Horus normally, and of course, if you can compare it to this video, you'll be able to make up your mind quite quickly. But I think here we'll be able to see how mobile the weapon actually is. I mean, as I said, I went for a mobility class, which I'll post towards the end of the video. So this definitely helps you guys when you're trying to get rid of zombies quite quickly. And I think this is probably the biggest plus about the weapon, the fact that it is extremely agile. It's probably even more agile than a pistol is, in a bit of a weird way, but again, given the shape of the weapon and the resemblance it has with the Robocop pistol, I wouldn't class it too far off from that category. Okay, not far left here. Right, also guys, I think it's probably the time for us to have another top weapons to use in Season 4. We obviously have Season 4 Reloaded around the corner in July, so I would love to have another top of the weapons I've been playing with in Season 4 and kind of sharing that with you guys, because I think it's probably going to still be relevant for Season 4 Reloaded, and it's definitely going to help us all still playing with it. We obviously had loads of things happening in this season so far, so it would be good to have a nice recap about everything. Alright, let's go and do the last one. And what I'll do, guys, I think kind of summarizing the overall of the weapon, I'll also point out the class of the weapon without the conversion kit. So you guys have both, and you can choose whichever you want to play with. But I think let's see how this last mission goes as well, and we'll have a summary of the actual weapon. But again, so far, I guess the biggest plus and the biggest positive, only if you're playing with the mags of holding, is that you have 1020 bullets, which is absolutely insane. On the other hand, the mobility it's pretty good, and the last thing is the TTK. As I said, it doesn't have a huge damage, but it does have a really fairly quick fire rate, which when you combine that with 1020 bullets, you know, it kind of helps. But you guys can actually see here, the Disciple went down a bit harder than with other weapons I've played. And if you haven't watched already, probably it's a good idea to check my latest video with the RAM 9, which in my opinion is the best SMG to play with in the game right now. It has been on the top for a while, but they've rebuffed it, let's say. Okay, there. I don't know why I grabbed the mags of holding schematic, but we'll hold it until going out. Okay, so there are a few zombies there though. Let's see if we can trick them to come towards us. Yeah. Right, well, I guess as a conclusion, guys, it's not a bad weapon. Will I go to the trouble to get the conversion kit? Probably not, and I would probably think that if you guys have played with the FJX Horus without the conversion kit, it's a pretty good weapon. Again, if you mix it up with the mags of holding, it does give you a large capacity. But if I have to choose between the FJX Horus with the conversion kit and the one without the conversion kit, I'll probably go with the one without the conversion kit if I would have to kind of go through the whole process of getting the conversion kit. So in my view, it's not necessarily worth it. It's a great weapon, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't necessarily use it as a go-to on my daily game runs. I think the pluses here were, as mentioned earlier, the really big capacity when paired with mags of holding, the really good mobility on this particular build, and obviously the time to kill, which is due to the fire rate of the weapon. But again, compared with other SMGs, I don't think it's necessarily up there in the top when using the conversion kit. So in my view, it gets a minus thumbs up, so it wouldn't necessarily be a weapon that I would be going for. But I'll leave it with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video soon.